Hi, everybody. I did some more walks. I went LARPing. So I'm here to talk about this before I do more work out there and to be inspired, just generally get out there and do stuff. So let's see what we've got here. Punk. Um, I was playing with some settings and I wanted to make sure the head cam worked okay. But yeah, this one is just going to be really quick for posterity then because the quality is kind of rough here. You can kind of see what's going on though. It had rained a bit, so we've got some flooding. You can see kind of a white discharge on the bit there. It's just, it foams up and I don't know why. I don't know that I've ever known why. But anywhere it like hits something, it creates some foam. Really not happy with this angle, but trying my best. Wow, it's so jerky. I can't even believe how bad this is. Really just kind of want to skip forward because I don't want to. Wow. So yeah, let's do that. All right. Getting into some of the spaces that I've been messing with. Um, Spend some time to create some pathing, kind of get stuff working and going. So I'm really just pushing forward on a lot of this stuff. There's good content here, but this space needed to get worked through, and that was a really fun and good project. Um, it's so hard to engage with a lot of these spaces. That's Mandragora, by the way. But this area here got cleared out, so I can path through here now. And I feel like that's a better way to go. So I'm hoping that works out in my favor. And generally, working both sides has been a lot. Sorry about last video, but I got news that I got exposed to COVID during the video, so it was important and I had to take it, and then I had to do a lot of testing. So I was a little off, and I did some stuff in the last video where I wasn't very happy with it. A lot of time spent working doesn't show up well on here, so that's not going to be a thing I do a whole lot unless people really get into it. But pretty much just same through here. This space also pretty much the same, just kind of remembering to go through a certain way. Keeping my head up so I don't, bonk again. Down through here, you can see some more of the spaces. This still hasn't been worked through all that well, but this needs to get redone, made to flow better. It's really hard when the root structure of large trees gets in the way of water. Also, when flooding happens and water sits, it doesn't feel great, but do what you can. I need to start wearing my better gloves because my hands are getting beat to hell. I've got little cuts and scrapes and things from all the hawthorn trees and wild roses and just general pricker bushes. It's really bad, but the other gloves are really tight. But I really need to do it because my hands are not thanking me for the work that I'm doing. So I need to be better to them. But this space is coming along very nicely. I'm really happy with how this pathing has worked. I did a little bit of work in here, but it's probably not easily noticeable, especially not with my camera being up in the air. It's really impressive how I can't find a good camera angle or way to get this video. It's made it a lot harder than I really would like, but you do what you can. So the canopy that I'm walking through is really interesting, though. A lot of it is grapevine, which is problematic, but it's interesting to get a better view on that since I have it anyway. Since I'm mostly looking straight and down, like my purview stops generally like right here. So yesterday I spent a lot of time picking up some of these piles of wood. Not this far back though, but that is just one of the other things I have to just do, which is annoying, is just collect all of this wood that I've acquired to burn or use. Most likely burn just because I don't have a lot of use for these woods right now. I'd like to make some more decorative things, fences and whatnot, but ultimately this stuff's just in the way right now, and it's easier to just get it cleared, use the ash as fill, and fill in some of the areas that are having a harder time. So I think a lot of the work I did is in this area past here, clearing the area beyond, but all the same I'm going to check through anyway. I really hope the next video is better, because this isn't even head bob, it's like bad frame rate in a video game where you're just kind of like jerking along. Like this is hard to watch, and I'm sorry for that. So I still want to have it for posterity, but like let's just skip a little through here because yeah, that's just bad. And if the next one's like that as well, I'll have to just check my settings and try again. It's really impressive that my like limbs and body just don't exist. I'm just some sort of avatar. As I even went to pick something up and I just don't know what it is. Likely a beer can or something. Oh, I picked up a stick to better utilize some like how I do stuff because a lot of the time I don't have tools on hand, so I'll just pick up big stick. Big stick can get me pretty far. Um, so there's a lot of just hanging branches and things, but a lot of the time I can see it better in person. In here, it gets kind of weird, but yeah, there's just a lot of grapevine and stuff that shouldn't exist. It's just gotten really overrun. So that's just a lot, and I'm just trying to work through this space and make it better. But yeah, there's a space on this left side that I've been working on, and I think I actually try to go through here, but this is just hard to watch, and I am, again, sorry for it, because, yeah. So this space, I'm just trying to clear up a little bit, make more of a path here to get a different path through non-muck. But this is also where I had a secondary bridge across, and I've worked a bit, so I'm happy with that. This looks, it's all moving forward and getting better. But there's nothing better than walking through the woods with a stick. Just feel good about it. You just get a lot of extra feeling of security and contentment for having something at your side, something that helps you maneuver, also will help you if you fall. Having that third tripod of a leg to stabilize is huge. So there really are a lot of things where I'm ducking under that I need to move around and fix. So there's some piles over here that I've cleared out, but that's pretty much it for this video. Oh. All right, so attempt 2, different video. I've kind of worked things a little bit different. You can see more foliage is coming in, but no, it is absolutely just the way. I think it might actually be the way I'm walking, because this feels more fluid. There's a few jerks here and there, but I worked over this side and made this creaking a little bit better, so that that'll flow hopefully, because I've got an origin point for some water that is just making an area a swamp, so I'm trying to let that drain. So we can start to see everything's getting really green, which is not great for me, because that means everything's going to start growing in, and it's going to get a lot harder to really see where I'm going and the spaces I want to take over. I worked a little bit on the creek here, making this sided area a little bit more dammed up. So hopefully this space gets better. I also worked in the opposite end of here, back in this space, but that is kind of a pain. I don't generally get back there. So I think I'm gonna just like give it a slow glance once I get to the other side. But as you can see, this bit of a marsh is still very marshy. But yeah, this spot over here has been cleaned up. So that's pretty good. I'm really happy about that. There are a lot of beer cans from my neighbor, which I'm not happy about though. So it's generally returned to sender, or if there's just way too much, I'm just gonna call it and hope for the best. Maybe put up some posted signs, but pretty much just do my best to keep the area clear, my property clean as much as I can. So that's again just neighbor's property off to the side, but I've got all this stuff down here and, you know, in the way basically. So the border is still good. Haven't really messed with that a whole lot, but continuing to make these spaces nice is great. Coming down into this space. So I cleared out, yeah, the internals here. So this is actually nicer. You can see some of the stuff that I cleared in this area really quick before I move on to just going across. That was a good project, really happy with that one. So just continuing to pursue better pathing, little spaces, just really feeling good about the change that I'm making. These paths are feeling really straightforward at this point, so I might try to deviate to just like open up some different areas so it's not so you have to walk this path. It can just be go wherever, and that's more of what I'm hoping for. But, you know, I'll get there. So yeah, I'm really happy with all of the work that I do. It's really good. It's so much better to do it than it is to talk about it, though. And I can see where this would get really repetitive because I'm just really excited about it. But it's hard to explain through like why it's exciting because there's rarely a good explanation or modifier to be like, this is how it was, and that really sucked, and you couldn't get in there. But having that gratification of like, I've changed this, I've made this plot of nature better for the good of me and, you know, the local animals and everything. Because there's just a lot, and everything coming in makes it just that much harder to navigate and really work through as it will probably become more clear, but right now it's pretty obscure, especially with my camera and things going like this. Not quite sure what I was trying to focus on there. I just might have heard something. It's the other part of a head cam that doesn't quite work the way I'm wanting it to. Hmm. So, yeah, again, this movement is still jerky, which isn't great. So I'm gonna play with more settings till I get something that's smooth video. Hopefully I can figure that out because I'd like to make stuff that people could actually watch and enjoy properly. It'd be better to have a good quality thing to revert to as well, just in case anything comes up. But I'm doing a lot here, so I can only, you know, worry about one thing at a time. That's good parts of therapy is reminding you that there's stuff like this where you don't have a lot of control over. And when you're doing everything that you can, it's just that much better to focus on those aspects. This is the best version of video I made at the time. If I have a better option, I'll use it. If I have a worse option, but that's all I can do, that option is still better than nothing. And that doesn't get talked about enough. That if you clean your space a little bit, it's better than not cleaning it at all, which is the opposite of what school teaches us. In at least in America, uh, if you do a half-assed job, you're generally treated as though you didn't do anything. If you didn't get it, if you didn't like understand the assignment, you're just as bad as the person who did not do anything. So there's a lot of negativity built into putting in the amount of effort to do something that you might even feel great about, that your progression is important, that doing it will make you better. So as much as I don't like the way this video is, it's still better to know what this like looked like and you get little glimpses here and there. But at the same time, it's better to continue to do it and like tweak things so that it's fixed in the future. Like as long as I'm growing, it's still good. Also, in this walk, I wanted to point out how many animal tracks there are. The deer are getting a ton and just lots and lots of usage out of these paths. There's a lot of raccoon scat. There's a lot of stuff going on, and it's not always visible on the cam, but that's okay. But yeah, I'm really intent on making some of these spaces more traversable than they are currently, because there's a lot of just blank, you have to walk this way, when they don't have to be that way. So that might be the goal for today. Um, oh yeah, I had forgotten. I made a new bridge out of a fallen tree because it was the easiest thing to do with it, as dragging it uphill to get burned is not great. But um, yeah. I've also been, again, trying to pull some of the discarded piles of wood up to get taken care of before any kind of burning ban or anything starts. Haven't heard anything about that yet, but I'm sure it'll be coming through. It's been off and on fairly rainy, so I'm not too concerned. But as you can see, I'm collecting as I'm going at this point. But there's just a lot. Like this whole little area gets cleaned up here because I run into it, and this is part of how the cleanup process happens. I enter the space with no goal in mind. I get to a certain part and I stop, I kind of figure it out. I see what can get worked on because there's stuff that dies and breaks and falls, and then it gets stuck. So then it collects other things. So if I can clear that whole bit up, suddenly a space can open up. There might be little adjustments here or there, or small bits that need to get taken out. That can happen that weren't obvious before. So something little like going for these walks, just having me enter the space is absolutely really important to me and works really well for these adventures. So that space is cleared now. We can kind of continue on. I think I'm working off some sort of branch there. There's just a lot happening here. Yeah. Oh, I'm like clearing stuff back and forth, creating a new pile. So that works out pretty well. It's lifting with the legs. Always remember to use your squats to lift. Don't sprain your back. It's a wasp, which happens occasionally. I keep my doors open. I also keep a fly swatter nearby just in case, because fuck wasps. Managed. um, so, walk continues. I've got a fair amount of stuff in my arms at this point. One of the benefits of having two free hands instead of one hand holding a camera and the other dealing with the just working my way through a space is that I do get to bring some of this stuff back. It is kind of a shame that I'm not really a fan of the way headcam is working. That's a shame. I'm really kind of sad about that. I really want it to be better, but if it's not going to work, it's not going to work. So, gonna play with some settings, see if I can't make that better. If anyone has recommendations on settings for an Akaso EK7000, please let me know. Because I would like to have the stuttery bits be better. And I've got stabilization on, but maybe I'll try that off. Maybe that's what's fucking it up. I'm not sure, but we will see. So, All right. Until next time, everybody, I've got more to do out there. I just wanted to check in and have at least this on record. And so I can kind of work back into that afterwards. I got some new games I want to try. Maybe I will, once I'm done packing for my event this weekend, pop on and just do some more actual like gaming. Because that's generally what people are here for. But all the same, I'd like to really keep the chronicle of this going. And it at least pushes me to have some of this kind of production going. So thank you all for watching. Thank you for being part of this. Remember, you can find the videos or VODs on YouTube, and that works out fairly well. You can watch live if you can catch me on twitch.tv/BronwynKenku. And yeah, I'm really happy with how this all turned out. I've just walked over the small bridge that I was talking about. It worked out pretty well. Really happy with the progress today. So until next time, get out there, be good to your body, stretch, and make time for a little bit of nature. Till next time, peace.